All right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our Training Thursday. We're doing leadership development on Thursdays here with the amazing certified holistic health coaches. And we have big news, Cheryl.
Yes, we do.
Never guess what's happening this Saturday.
Oh my gosh, let me think about it. Is it a graduation?
We're graduating again. Yeah, we have a whole new graduating class. So we're encouraging
Yes.
everybody to come cheer on the next graduating class. I know it was special for you when you graduated, so we'd love to have a packed house. We're going to have Dr. Wallach, of course, speaking, and the CEO of the company, Steve Wallach, will be speaking, as well as Cheryl Morley and myself. So we'll have a packed house, and we have a couple of great guest speakers coming on. So it's going to be a really fun time. So it'll be about an hour long on Saturday. It's noon Eastern, so 9 a.m. Pacific. And we'll get out the rest of the information on that in a second in the chat. I already put a link to our notes today that's in the chat. So we're doing Growth Matters Part 1. So we're working on a series right now called The Power of Five. So there's, when you click on the notes, you'll see a link that goes right to it. I'll also put a link in there to purchase the program if you decide that you want to purchase it. But we go over all the notes here and explain everything to you on Thursdays. But if you want some of the background information, which is absolutely unbelievable, which we highly recommend you do, you can go to that link and get the program and watch it before we come here. So Cheryl, how important is growth?
Well, I think it's the most important thing that you can do with your entire life. I mean, I really do. That's why we have, the wonderful group Find a Fabulous. That's all about growth. And it really is essential to the success in your life, which is just, I don't know, Paul, I've really noticed over the last couple of years, how important that is. And that if you want to succeed in life, you are going to have to focus on personal growth because you have to grow, right? You have to grow before you can help anyone else grow. So yeah,
I mean, just
super,
talk about
super
over the
important.
past 4 years that we've known each other, some of the differences you've known in yourself. I mean, to everyone I talk to, you're a completely different person. You just have emerged yourself into personal growth over the past 4 years, and it shows.
Yeah, the greatest thing is that I absolutely love John Maxwell. So that's very helpful. And then what I've done that I feel like has really helped me is I pick a couple of people that I really want to focus on. Bob Proctor is one. I absolutely love him. Wayne Dyer, is that how you say his name? Wayne Dyer. He's another one that I really love. So I really focus on those two. Yeah, Jim Rohn, I love. Tony Robbins, anybody like that. And I've really seen a huge difference.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll post a link to all the things that Cheryl and I listen to, so you have a personal growth like library and resource to go to on how to dive into personal growth. But I love what John says in the beginning here. He says, not many things matter in life, which is true. We go on through life, we think all these things matter, that, we watch the news and this and that and all this stuff we focus on. I don't want to say it's not important, because a lot of it is, but you have no control over a lot of almost all of it. What you can control is you can control your thoughts, your feelings, how you feel, and your actions. That's it. So it's 3 things in the world you can control. So when you think about we talk about our thoughts, we want to have better thoughts. So, the few things that matter a lot. And, like Cheryl mentioned, I named my whole business Elevate, because that's the only thing in life that matters is growth in everything. Every morning, how do I make things better? How do I make things better than they were yesterday? Cheryl and I were talking about fear, that we all have fear. My greatest fear is being in the same place I am now a year from now. Greatest fear I have. So how do you overcome that fear? You force yourself to grow. And Cheryl, when he talked about when you grow, your team grows.
Yeah, absolutely. And the reason why is because, well, first of all, let me just say this. So I thought that you were just born the way you were born. So if you were born, however you were born, then there you go. That's what you get. But then when I figured out the importance of growth and that we can grow every single day and become a completely different person. And for me, the number one thing that I want to do in my life is I want to contribute to others or help other people. And so I think that the only way that I can do that is by growing myself, right? And so and I know for sure that that's the only way that you can do it, because you cannot give away what you don't have. And I think that that's so important for all of us to remember.
Yeah, absolutely. And Cheryl, I know you're so passionate about contributing to other people's lives, especially women, that you're going to be doing a special call this evening.
Yes, it's going to be so much fun. We have the Find a Fabulous call this evening, and it's kind of a fun call, Paul, because it's something a little bit different than we've ever done before. And so this call is a place where you can invite any friends or family or any person, and any woman, let's just say woman, or a young girl, you can certainly invite them.
Feel very left out.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Paul. You're gonna have to get that wig on. And but we're gonna have a great time, and it's just gonna be all about community. And it's just a place to come and learn a little more about health and wellness, and the importance of community. We're gonna have some really fun prizes to give away and things like that. So it'll be a lot of fun tonight.
Very cool. But I know, Cheryl, just like we're doing on our calls here, so 20% of success comes from strategy. So that is the health coaching course. When you
Yeah,
come in, you take the course, you get the strategy on how to help people get healthy and the strategy on how to build your business. So that strategy is there, 100%.
right.
The other 80% though is psychology. It's what's happening in your mind. And we spend all of our time now on Mondays and Thursdays talking about psychology and development. So Cheryl and I are in the developing people business. That's what we do. And I know, Cheryl, that's the direction that the Find a Fabulous call is going in. That's not a training per se. It's all about developing women, because when you make women better, everything else gets better too.
Right, absolutely. Well, and I think it's so crazy because that the strategy is only 20%, and the growth and the things that you do for you um is 80%. That's so crazy that growth is that 80%. And I would have never guessed that, because a lot of times, especially when you're talking to a new person, it's all about, oh, I don't know what to do, or I don't know this. But like you're saying, the health coaching program gives you exactly what to do and how to do it. And then so then if you're already a health coach and it's not working, or something's not working out for you, then it can only be the growth and the other things that you have to work on, inside yourself.
Yeah,
And I just think
yeah,
that's so amazing.
it is, because we went into this thinking, boy, if we create this coaching program and teach people how to get people healthy and how to build a business and give them all
Right.
the strategy, people will become millionaires and
Yeah.
build huge businesses. We make the coaching program, and that quite didn't roll out that way.
No.
So, but we didn't know what the percentage was. So, okay, maybe mindset has a little bit to do with this. We actually threw a little mindset unit into the course, because we figured, wow, this matters a little bit, but we didn't figure it mattered 80% of it. But
Right.
I agree with that 1,000%. It is 80% psychology and mindset, and only 20% strategy. So and knowing that, John Maxwell, if you heard the story, he was telling it, woke up in the middle of the night and realized that he never learned how to grow. So he's been doing personal growth his whole life, teaching people. But how do you grow? Like there's actually a strategy behind it. And I think this book, The 15 Laws of Growth, should be the number one book every child has to read in high school. I mean, it is the foundation. Before you even start doing personal growth, you have to read this book. So we're actually going to go through this course as soon as we finish this course, the Power 5. There's a course called The 15 Laws of Growth. So every single week for 15 weeks, we're going to go through these laws and master them. Because once you master these, personal growth for the rest of your life will be amazing.
I
And
love it. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Paul.
what
No, I was just going to say the cool thing about that is if you know a way that you can help your team grow, then you'll do it. And that's exactly what this is. If you grow, they will grow. And so, and I love it when it's that cut and dried, right? I mean, that's it. You grow, they grow. And so it's not like something that, well, you can try this, but we don't know if it'll work. You can do that, but we're just not sure. This is like really, that's really how you help your team grow, is by you growing. And I
Yeah.
love that. I love that it's that, that we know it's a proven, you know, a
Well,
proven
Cheryl,
thing that,
so go over the two questions that we're just in love with.
okay, so the very first question is, what are you doing to grow yourself? That's the first question. And the second question is what are you doing to grow others?
I
What
can't
are
think
you
of two
doing?
more important questions to ask yourself on
No,
a daily basis.
right.
If you just got up in the morning and asked those two questions, and there's actually three questions coming up that we're going over that are actually better than these two, but all five of them together would be amazing.
Yeah.
So these are such good questions because you've got to be intentional about what you're doing for yourself and what you're doing to grow other people. Super, super. So, Cheryl, let's. This isn't mentioned in the course, but I just felt like it was so important to bring it up at this time. During our Tony Robbins training, we learned about the 6 human needs, and I always knew about the 6 human needs, but I didn't understand how important the order was of them. So after like literally years of studying this, I've come up with an order that, and even so, it's those are the notes. It's growth, contribution, love, and connection is number 3. 4 is significance, 5 is variety, and 6 is certainty. It,
Paul,
yeah,
wait, before you go on, I want people to put in the chat what they think their number 1 and number 2 are.
yeah. What are your top 2 needs? If you could type that
Yeah.
in the chat, that's an excellent.
What do you feel like your top 2 needs are? Because I was a little shocked that this is this is this is the way they're supposed to be. This is the if we want to do what we say that we want to do, which is all these goals and dreams and live a better life and have all of these things that we talk about, then this is the way that you need to have, that you need to feel when you think about these human needs.
Yeah. So 80% of the world has certainty at number 1.
Can you believe that? I was so shocked. I'm like, what are you talking about? Certainty. So let's talk a minute, Paul, about what certainty means. So what does that mean? So do any of you so I was thinking about this. So do any of you have a friend that might be in an abusive relationship or in a relationship that doesn't serve them at all, but they will not get out?
I love how
Because,
you asked for a friend.
well, nobody
Or a
wants to say
friend
it's
or a
them.
neighbor or somebody else besides yourself.
I'm going to say, or maybe even doing something that's hurting you, right? Maybe doing something, an addiction, perhaps, anything like that. And but that's certainty for you. That is, that's what's safe for you. That's where you want to stay. You don't want to get out. You want to stay right there, because what's on the other side is fear, right? What's on the other side, or maybe, you don't want to, the way you felt, this way you felt for so long, it's scary not to feel that way, even if it's not good for you, right, Paul? I just find this so fascinating. I mean, I've been studying quite a bit, just like the last little bit, and I'm so fascinated that it's so hard. And I have a lot of friends too that I talk to a lot that aren't in the best place in life, right? But how do we move forward? And the certainty of where they're at is they feel more comfortable than like taking a step out and doing this or doing that or doing what it takes to get out of that certainty situation, I guess. So anyway,
Yeah,
so
I mean,
fascinating
we
to
make
me.
up our own boxes and it just feels comfortable in here. And then, like you said, even though there could be bad things happening in this box, you still feel certain about it. And what's ever outside of the box, who knows? That could be worse.
Right.
No one could ever love me again. Like there are certain things that would go through your mind that would make you not want to lose that certainty you have now.
Right.
It's really all you know. Also, like one of the biggest or the biggest objection I would get. So I would get people to join the business and do this as a business. And either the husband or the wife would say, you're not doing that because it's not certain. I want you to get a job. You need a job. Having a job is certainty. You got a paycheck coming in every week. This isn't certain. Well, times have changed, and now jobs are not certain at all. You could be fired at any moment. And the only certainty in the world is to make yourself better, to grow yourself and to grow a business. It's very difficult for me to get fired right now since I'm the boss. So there is days I get upset at myself and things, but I have never gotten to the place yet where I fired myself. So I don't think it's going to happen. So it's a great place to be here. I mean, you're on 100% security because I control my future. I'm in 100% control of my paycheck. If I want to make 200,000 this month, I'll make 200,000 this month. Whatever number I want to make, I can make because I'm 100% control. So it's amazing how we attach certainty to certain things it's completely a lie. It's just all fabricated. So, but even if you just put certainty at 5 instead of 6, your whole life changes. Because you just said, well, I'd rather be certain than do this other thing, which could be, which is variety, which is it's something we all need in our lives. So it's so important to have it, to be focused on the growth first for yourself and for your life, and then to offer that contribution to people. So really, and this is what we do here at the coaching program so well, is we love on people, we connect with them. We're all about connecting and building that relationship and then becoming significant in other people's lives. So it's not, Cheryl and I don't get our significance from like an award or something like that. Like, I'm not even sure where all my awards are, and I know Cheryl has them in the basement or something, but so it's not like something that's not what makes us feel significant at all. What makes us feel significant is if we can touch your life and make your life grow and contribute to you. We get so many emails and letters that come in that say, you've changed my life. This coaching program has completely changed my health. We got an amazing Zoom just an hour ago with a lady that we're going to be interviewing. Her name is Julie, that had the greatest story ever. I mean, what these products have done for her, what this lifestyle change has done for her, and this business is just unbelievable. And there's so many of those stories right now that it's very touching. So it's becoming significant in other people's lives and still having variety. And Cheryl, I think you can, agree with me on this, that every day for us, there's some new variety.
Well, it's so funny because I was sitting here looking at these and I've looked at them for, so much over the last little bit. And I really would like variety at number 1 because I love something different all the time, right? And then I was thinking, well, what does that mean? What if it is so far down? What if it is? And so I think it's important to understand that growth is super important, and we do growth every day. I do personal growth every single day. And I spend about an hour on personal growth. So it's not like it has to overtake your entire life. I think it's just really understanding like these things like love and connection and contribution, right? Well, they're pretty close in significance, variety. All of those things are so close for me, Paul. And so it's not, uncertainty. I think that can get, I don't know, I found really that can get people into a lot of trouble if everything has to be certain, because I think what happens is if you have to be certain, nothing changes. And then if nothing changes, then that means you're not growing. And
There's
so
no
that's
progress,
kind of
yeah.
no, there's no progress. And so that's one that I really think should be the last one. And just be conscientious of it, right? Just realize it, become aware. My goodness, if you're on this call and you're like, listen here, certainty is my number 1 thing. Well, that's okay. But at least you're aware now and you can start to work on that a little bit. I think that's what's important, is just like grow. Well, that's it, Paul, growing a little bit every day.
Yeah. But I see it on social media, the health coaches, we all love each other. And we're certain with each other because we know who the person is and we're certain that they're cool. But going out and meeting new people can be not certain because you don't know. But that's where the variety comes in. And Cheryl and I love meeting new people all the time. And if we didn't have that attitude that we want to meet new people every single day, then we wouldn't have met any of you. So we really, look forward to and have trained our minds, wired our minds so that there's a lot of pleasure attached to variety and meeting new people and welcoming new things all the time, because it's so it's intentionally pushing that certainty down. And we're going to tell you a story in a couple minutes that made John cry, made me cry. And Cheryl was like, I don't know what the big deal is here, but we'll get into that in a moment. So Cheryl, talk to us about growth and the guarantee that it gives to us.
Okay, growth is the only guarantee that tomorrow is going to get better. And I absolutely love that. And I just find that so I mean it makes so much sense, right? Life is getting better because you are getting better. And I just
One way
love
to
that.
make life better. You have to make you better.
Yeah, and you guys look at it like this. All of us, I think, are getting older, but not better. So as we grow. So you just have to really focus in on that, because as you get better, I'm telling you, and how about that for a promise, right? The more personal growth you do, the more you grow, the better your life is. That's pretty cool.
Absolutely. The next part really scared me though. Because a lot of people push college and how important it is. So John said that. So what did John say, Cheryl?
John said that the average bachelor's degree lasts 5 years.
Now he didn't say the average bachelor degree takes 5 years to get.
No,
It's only 4, but it only lasts for 5 years.
I know. So I told Paul, how long ago did you get your bachelor's degree?
Like 30 years ago. So everything I learned
It's irrelevant now.
is irrelevant, completely irrelevant.
Doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny.
Yeah, he's like totally, but it's so true. Like now, granted, I feel that going to get my master's degree taught me how to learn. So I know how to learn now. I know how to read all these books and process them, and so I've trained my mind in that manner to do that. But the information you learn then is useless, because things change so fast now, and that's why keeping up with personal growth and with the times all the time is so critical, because of how fast things change. But Cheryl, the real golden nuggets to this lesson
Yes.
is these next 3 questions, which I just think it's just gold. Just gold.
I love them. I love them. The very first one is, what do you learn today that you did not know yesterday?
Imagine asking yourself that every single day.
Yeah, at the end of the day, what did you learn today that you did not know yesterday? I love that too.
So good. But being intentional and writing that down, just one sentence. You don't need a paragraph like that. One sentence, a couple words. What did you learn today you didn't know yesterday?
Yep. The next one I really like. What did you let go of today?
Wow.
I love that one. That's like my favorite one, I think. I don't know, maybe the next one
No,
will be
it's
too, but I really love that one. What,
well,
because how
so this is
important is
we
that?
Cheryl and I had a discussion about this next quote though that John had.
I know. You
So
can't, yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so the quote that he says is, you can't go to something unless you let go of something.
Yeah. So we're holding on to our past, which is preventing us from moving in the direction we want to go to. The other analogy I
Right.
use is that you can't go to second base in baseball if you're standing on first base. So it's letting go of where you're at and saying, I want more all the time. And there's things every day that we need to let go of, because we bring everything in and we hold it in as, as humans. And I'm victim, or, number one person at doing that. So it's super important that you really think about, what am I going to let go today that no longer serves me?
Yeah, I love that. And the third one, what am I changing today that I did yesterday? So what's something you did yesterday that you want to change today? You don't want to do that. You want to, and really, I think it all goes along with Paul raising your standards, right? You need to raise your standards,
Well,
right?
we talked about, we just had the halftime review and looking back at the first half and making some adjustments for the second half. But John does this every single day. What am I changing today that I did yesterday? So what can I do a little bit better today than today when I send this email, I'm going to use these words, or when I message somebody, I'm going to use this. Just small tweaks every single day that can make a huge difference over time. 3 great questions. Maybe you just got intentional. And so we went over 5 questions here, and we'll put all 5 questions together. But what am I doing to grow myself? What am I doing to grow others? And then these 3 questions. What do you learn? What did you learn today you didn't know yesterday? What are you going to let go of today? And what am I changing today that I did yesterday? I can't. And then Cheryl, so Cheryl and I, as you all know, we do so Cheryl has her fabulous morning. I have my elevate morning. And, we do the exact same things. And one of the things we do is journal. So we're both really big on getting our thoughts down on paper. And sometimes it's really hard to do that. You're like, what am I going to write? So having some thought-provoking questions like this in front of you will help your writing and getting things out of you and make you more intentional and aware, bring clarity to your life.
Yeah, absolutely, Paul. I definitely need these things. When I sit down to write, like everything flies out of my mind and I can't remember a single thing. And so having these questions are especially important to me. Just to kind of get get things going and moving and just even answering these questions. And I have to tell you, Paul, I love that John does it every day. And I think it's something that, just for 5 minutes, right? That's what he talks about. He talks about just 5 minutes a day, sitting down and maybe answering those questions every night before you go to bed. It's just, I think it's really a great idea.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us the story, Cheryl, that John shared that I can't even bear to think.
No, Paul can't bear to tell the story. Oh my gosh. Okay. So when John was young, he told his dad that he wanted to be a speaker, speak up in front of a lot of people. And his dad said, okay, well, you need to, he said that you need to write. Did he say write? I forgot what he said exactly to him was it might be read and write every single day. So he would read and then he would write something and then he would file whatever he had written down um every single day. And so he did that for 45 years. So he had tons and tons of files. I can't even imagine how many filing cabinets he had. Oh my gosh, that makes me nervous just thinking about it. And so he really started like thinking, you know, gosh, or holding on to that really is what he was doing, right? So he was holding on to this and then he didn't have to really do so much because he could always go and look at all the files that he had and that's what he would use and so he was really relying on those files a lot. And so he went in and told his secretary, okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to get rid of all those files. And he said, don't tell me where you're going to
He's
take
going to
them
leave
and
for
put
2
them.
hours.
Yeah, he's going to leave for 2 hours. And he's like, get rid of all of them and don't tell me where you're going to take them. And don't tell me anything about it. And so she said, okay. And so he left for 2 hours. And when he came back, all the filing cabinets were gone. And he said that he just sat down on the floor and cried and cried. I'm so sorry because Paul said, I would have cried too. I was crying with
I
him.
would
And
have never done it.
I'm like, crying? What on earth? I can't even imagine like what the big
It was
deal
like,
was.
I need my phone and my kids and I'm out of here. See ya. Doesn't
Nothing else
tie me down.
matters. I
Yeah.
don't care. But the totally cool thing about the entire thing is that um that the last 5 years of his life after he did that have been the most creative and joyous years of his whole life.
Yeah.
Which is so, and I mean, because he was holding on to yesterday, and so he wasn't able to move forward with and even just with his creativity, which was so amazing to me. So that's my question to you. What are you holding on to? Because how important is that to let that go? And I've been thinking about that for the last 24 hours a lot. And And I mean, I have some stuff that I'm hanging on to, some feelings that I want, some things that aren't necessarily serving me. And I think it is so important to like make that decision to let it go so that you can move on. Like
Yeah.
really important. It'll change your life. That's what I really believe.
Well, one of the analogies I thought of when I was listening to John talk about this is my closet. So maybe someone listening could agree with me or know where I'm coming from on this, but
We
there's
know.
some things in my closet that shouldn't be there anymore. But I keep saying, well, maybe I'll wear that shirt sometime, or there could be an occasion I need that. So, and whether it's clothes or stuff in your house or whatever, it's so good to do that cleaning out, and that vacuum effect where if you just get rid of the things. And I love this one. So the one thing I did, Cheryl, was I heard this trick. I did this a couple of years ago where you hang all your hangers backwards in your closet. And then you go through the year
Oh,
and any hanger that never got turned around. So if you use that piece of clothing, then the hanger goes back on the regular way. The amount of
oh,
clothes that never got turned around, that still was hung backwards, was astonishing in my closet.
yeah. I can tell you right now, that's like 98% of the stuff in there. I'm gonna have like 5 things that I'm gonna be able to wear. I'm serious because I have this stuff that I like, but you're right. I'm like, well, what if I have to wear that to an event? Well, what if I need this? And that's so fascinating. Oh, that's a good idea to turn your hangers around.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's getting your going through your whole life and saying what things what can I let go of? And when you do it, in the beginning it's a little stressful, but it's so freeing and releasing when you do it. So I can't encourage you enough to not only do that with, because we had this thing for 20 years that when we get something, we would say, well, where should we put this? And the answer was the basement. So if you do that, and say the basement for 20 years, things start adding up. And I know, Cheryl, you have a few things in your basement as well that have added up. But you got to get away from that storing and keeping thing and just, so I got a big dumpster a couple years ago and just get rid of it all because it's just,
yeah.
yeah, it's all sitting there
I
for now.
think I would like somebody to come in and get rid of it all for me
Well, just do
so
what
that
John
I
did.
just don't.
Yeah, I'll
I
be back in a couple hours. Just
yeah,
make sure it's all done when I get back.
throw it all away.
Yeah, super
Oh,
good idea.
that's so great. Yeah. But I love that whole idea of and the question that I thought of asking myself, which I really like, is what can I let go of that's not serving me? Right? That's not that's not going to help me get to my vision board, or that's not going to help me achieve the goals that I have set for myself. And that way then I can say, because there's some stuff that I have that is like, well, whatever. But is it getting me closer to those things? Is it helping me get to those things? And when
Or
the
worse
answer is
yet, is it
no,
holding you back that you don't even realize?
well, absolutely.
That's
Yeah,
that's the message here.
yep, absolutely.
Maybe it's not necessarily helping you move forward, but it's definitely holding you back
Yeah.
without us even knowing it. So this was just a great lesson for us. And I know Cheryl, John ended with a few sentences. You want to share those with people?
Yeah, I love this. So this is what he wrote after he had a good cry on the floor. This is what he wrote. He said, "If we don't change, we don't grow. And if we don't grow, we are not really living. Growth demands a temporary surrender of security." I think we all need to say that again.
Here it goes.
Growth demands a temporary surrender of security. It may mean giving up familiar but limiting patterns, safe but unrewarding work, benefits we no longer believe in, relationships that have lost their meaning, or files that cannot take me to the next level of living. Oh, I love that so much.
So good. So the big message here is to, again, keep that certainty, that need for certainty that we all have as low as possible. Just it's being intentional and you feel certainty coming on. Like, no, I really want to keep that shirt. No, you don't. So get rid of it, and because it brings you certainty. It's what's happening at that moment. So embrace the variety. Hey, listen, we can go out and buy new shirts. That's super fun. So embrace that and do everything you can, like, to push that certainty down. Super great message. So
Yep.
let's open this up, Cheryl, to other people to see what they got out of this lesson. Anything that struck home for you? Like, wow, that's like a huge takeaway for me. So yeah, just go ahead and raise your hand, and we'll bring you on. Jill's going ahead to her closet right now. Do a little purging.
Oh, there's Heather.
You've inspired her.
Hi, Heather.
Hey, I just wanted to recommend a book, Magic Art of Tidying Up. I did that back in 2014. And because of doing that, I thought my house was actually going to lift up off the ground. And then we actually sold it in 2015 in 6 days because I had just gone through everything. I got rid of like 300 pairs of or items of clothing, 14 boxes of books, and only sad story is I wasn't super consistent with that. Now I need to do it again.
Yeah. Great
That
idea.
is awesome.
Great advice, Heather. And that's so true.
Yeah, that is so fantastic. Okay, who else?
Well, we always need to hear from Becca and her take on every chapter.
Yes.
Okay, so this one kind of hit me hard when it came to the whole purging, because not only do I have my stuff, but I also have my parents' stuff. And there's going to be a really big dumpster one of these days.
You mean tomorrow?
A couple rollaways. The big rollaways, the big ones, one of these days. But in between now and then, I have been going through, and of course, my closet is almost all new, thanks to our good nutrition and not being able to fit into those clothes that I used to.
And you donated all the other ones away?
Yes, they are no longer in this house.
Good.
They are gone forever. So that, and I do a lot of purging with those of you who still have kids that are growing. Oh my goodness. Can't believe how fast my youngest is growing. And always and I've gotten to the point now where even in the kitchen, if it's not something that I've used in 2 years, it's going in the box and going somewhere else. So, you never know when you're going to need that cake pan that you don't use very often. So we've got to keep that one. But it's a lot of clearing stuff out that's just in the way, clutter. It's
interesting though that we have 5 questions and everyone's focusing on one of them. The whole letting go thing. So I think we struck a chord with some people on the letting go thing. So awesome,
Yes.
awesome. Thank you, Becca. All right, let's go over to Natalie. We love Natalie.
Thanks so much. As a teacher, you're always like, I need to save that because I might use it in a lesson or whatever. Spent 35 years doing that.
Yeah.
And while there's a lot of cool stuff in there, just doing that process, moving into it, I never thought I would believe it, that there is space in here that I never had before. Like I've always had loves ideas, great ideas, but then I reached a point where it's like it's almost a claustrophobic. When you've got space in the way that's filled, you can't put anything new and fresh. And so everything was just, I guess you could say, a recycled former thing. And just being more positive, it gives me a chance to put something good in a place that, that was nice, but it's time to move on, get rid of it so there's room for the new. And until you do, it's exactly what John Maxwell's thing is. Until you do let go, you never know what potential is waiting. And I think that's been the fun part of it. Like, I look forward to going through things, and like Becca said, you've got those family things that we inherited, but I'm able to look at those like what is sentimental versus what's the things I need to keep because that's a legacy I want to pass on to my kids. So being able to keep those things that are part of the family treasure and then getting rid of other things that were just fun. Because I like the memories in here and here versus
Yeah.
having to always move something to move around. So it's just free.
So Cheryl, from now on, when we think of a class to teach, we should be prepared. Like we should own a dumpster company now. Before we do the class, we can give out our number to have everyone order, because it sounds like everyone's going to be ordering a dumpster this weekend and getting rid of a lot of stuff. So that was well said, Natalie. Thank you for sharing. So now we're going to go to Caroline, but hang on a second. Let me get fix my sleeves here real quick here.
Oh, he's
okay, I'm running
mirroring. He's mirroring.
Look at it. She gets it. She gets all buff now. She follows keto, taking some supplements. Listen, I'm just going to cut the sleeves off the shirt. I'm just going all out. My guns are too awesome to hide these things. I work way too
Stuff
hard.
doesn't fit anymore, man. Nothing
love
fits.
I love it.
The
It like
guns are
hangs
too big.
down to my arm. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Anyway, so growth. See, we're growing. We're growing. Yeah. Oh shoot, I lost my notes. Hold on. There they are. So I really, for whatever reason, well, I know the reason. I used to live and breathe by a stinking calendar, and so that whole thing at the beginning really caught my attention. About a calendar only shows tomorrow you'll get older, but growth guarantees you'll get better. And the difference between getting old and older, one is based on years, the other is attitude. And to avoid getting old is to be passionate about your growth. And that, I just thought that was the best thing ever. And
You still use a calendar though.
I do still use a calendar, but I still run an 18-month calendar, but it's not like I used to run a calendar. I mean, that has been a big difference, huge. And it's very freeing. I was so freaked out. That was that certainty stuff.
Yep.
Because I was like, no, I know, and this is my plan, and this is how it's going. And then
See, Paul?
no,
See?
but I
Let's not get the wrong
changed.
message here.
I changed.
Planning is not horrible, guys.
It
But
means
oh no,
certainty.
big difference between planning. No, yeah, no, big difference there. But yeah, that was a big part. And also that you have to have the learning and the unlearning and the relearning.
Yeah.
I want to tell Carolyn, thank you so much for that ammunition. I really appreciate it.
We're gonna need to talk.
Anything I can do to help, Cheryl.
Yeah.
I love you. Thank you so much.
I just got,
Calendar and planning means certainty, which we don't want.
listen. We need a little strategy in place. It's the wrong strategy.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Thank you, Caroline. That was awesome. Okay, Tanya, how are you?
Oh, I am unmuted. I'm fabulous, actually. Thank you.
Awesome.
I listened to this last week, and so it was fun to listen to it again. And really, it was perfect timing because the letting go was definitely on point. Although I have to admit, this is a T-shirt from when I was 19, so I'm still celebrating that I can fit clothes.
Well, luckily you're only 20 now,
So
so
years ago,
it's not too
I'm
bad.
like, do I get the prize? Do I
Yes.
get the prize for keeping things too long?
That's hilarious.
Oh, I think it's
It's
great.
from Australia, from a trip. So anyway, but it was really a beautiful like aha moment reminder for me too, because I remember realizing in February I had faced 2 fears and I didn't change anything else. But when I released the fear of doing that, I dropped 10 pounds. And so and then I just had some stuff happen this last week that was really tough to deal with and reached out for help. So thank you to the community. I realized that there was stuff to let go still. So it was pretty cool to listen to this today.
And focus on your new
Thank you.
story.
Yay.
Yes. Yes.
So fantastic. I love
And I
that.
did get rid of all my big clothes. So I'm just keeping my like 20 years ago clothes.
Okay. Well, it came right back around, so perfect. Glad you kept those then. Only things that fit now. Super, super, super. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else have anything they want to comment on this incredible lesson? Just gold. I just, again, I did put that, Becca posted them in the chat, and I posted them in the notes to ask yourself these 5 questions every day. What an unbelievable exercise that is to do on a daily basis, to ask yourself those 5 things, and you can slowly but surely get rid of 1 piece of clothing a day. All right, Charlie, anything that you want to close with?
No, don't forget about the call tonight. That's going to be a lot of fun. We have Dr. Laura Dennison on. She'll be talking about women's health. We're going to be talking about community, the importance of community. And so it'll just be a lot of fun. And then again, lots of prizes that we're going to be giving away. So we would love to see you there. That's at 7:00 Eastern at CherylMorleyZoom.com. And thanks, you guys. I thought that this lesson, I thought was like so fantastic. I absolutely loved it. There were so many like cool things, nuggets, and then things that we can take and use in our everyday lives as we continue to grow, all of us. So that's awesome. So thanks so much, Paul. I thought that was a great call. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And
So we're
thank you.
gonna do graduation on Saturday.
Yep.
At noon Eastern, and then we're going to take a week off. So we're doing a big party at Cheryl's house. Cheryl's super nice.
I wish
throwing, like-
Canadian people could come.
Yeah.
Like I have Canadian friends and they cannot come, and I'm so so hopefully that's gonna change.
Yeah. We have to do this again, Cheryl.
Oh, we will.
Yeah.
This is my favorite thing to do.
Yeah. Throw a party. I mean, what's better than that?
That's right.
So we will be partying all next week. We will not be growing. And we will be back growing though on the 19th for our Mindset Monday. And we discovered that we were not quite doing Mindset Mondays correctly. So those of you that are following along with the Deb Erickson course, we're actually diving into lesson 1 of the I Can Sell and Recruit finally. And that's the live version. So there's 2 versions there. One says I Can Sell and Recruit live, and one says I Can Sell and Recruit. That one, the second one's going away. So only focus on the live one, lesson 1. And then we also we all listen to the Monday Mindset calls and take notes from that and discuss that, because she basically on Monday Mindset, she talks about the lessons in there in the I Can Sell and Recruit that she just made and has a discussion around it. So, but we'll be here having our own discussion around it on Monday the 19th at 3 p.m. And then we're going to continue on with this series and do Growth Matters Part 2 on that Thursday, which is the 20-something of July. So that's that. Awesome. You folks rock. Super
Thanks,
job.
you guys.
And we will see you on the 19th. Bye, everyone.
Bye.